Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. Ito po si Sas Rogando Sasot, ang inyo pong favorite na tagalista ng Noisy. Maaaring pakishare po muna ang video na ito dahil napakahalaga ang ating tatalakayin ngayong hapon na ito nang makita ninyo ang full extent ng ginagawa nilang pang-aabuso ng kanilang kapangyarihan. So, pakishare na lang po muna. Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. Matindi po ang ating tatalakayin ngayon dahil panahon na para tayo ay sama-samang sumigaw ng tama na, sobra na, itigil nyo na yan, tapusin na ang bulok na sistemang ito. Ayan. Pakishare po muna. Maraming salamat sa mga kaka-tune in pa lang. Pakishare po. Mahalaga po itong dapat nating pag-usapan dahil hindi na ito normal, hindi na ito naaayon sa ating saligang batas at higit sa lahat, ito ay malinaw na pagtatakip sa tunay na dapat na ikulong ng House of Representatives. Pakishare po muna ang ating live at sandali lang. Para malaman ng lahat. Okay? So ito na ang ating gagawin. Alam niyo naman po ang mga nangyayari sa ating lipunan ngayon. Nakita niyo na po ang kanilang ginawa kay dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte. Kahit ano po, babaliin po nila ang batas para po masunod ang kanilang gusto. And clearly, that's what they are trying to do right now with the vocal supporters of President Duterte. Ayan. Ano po ang ating sinasambit dito? Ito na naman po ang papakita ko lang ang balita at makikita niyo talaga ang sabwatan dito ng media, no? At ng mga hunghang na ito. Okay. So ito ngayon, sunod-sunod silang nagbalita. Ito, News 5. Sabi ng News 5, possible ipasight in contempt at i-detain ng Tri-Committee ng House of Representatives si Trixie Cruz Angeles, ang dating kalihim ng Presidential Communication Office, at 10 vloggers dahil sa patuloy na hindi pagsipot sa mga pagdinig ukol sa fake news at disinformation. So, isa po ako ditong pinangalanan. So Crisette is there, Lorraine, Jeffrey Celis, Joey Cruz, Ethel Pineda, Mark Lopez, Richard Mata, Aaron Peña, Mary Jane Kiambao, and of course, ako. And Representative Dan Fernandez said, this information is a national security issue. It erodes public trust, destabilizes institutions, and manipulates democratic discourse. That's what House of Representative Dan Fernandez say, that this information is a national security issue. Keep that in mind, that this information is a national security issue. Okay, and then, nagbalita din ng PTV4. Okay? PTV4. At ito naman ang kanilang sinabi. Okay. Right. So, sabi ng PTV4, our government press-controlled media, the House Tri-Committee announced today, March 19, that it will hold its third public hearing on Friday, March 21, to address the growing threat of online disinformation and fake news. A total of 11 social media personalities, vloggers, including former Communications Secretary Trixie Cruz Angeles, face possible contempt and detention if they continue to ignore the probe. Okay. So, isa ako sa mga na-invite dito, paulit-ulit. Okay? Paulit-ulit. And I'm gonna show you the communications I had with them since the first time that they invited us in February. Gonna show you. Okay. Um, I hope that you could see this. No, this is our communication. Okay. As you can see, we've been communicating since February 4. Since February 4, February 4, February 11, February 18, February 19, February 20, and then today. Today, I receive this. Um, so they're telling me that now I am going, they sent me a subpoena. They emailed me a subpoena. Okay? Emailed me. They emailed me a subpoena to appear before the TRICOM and testify. And then in the letter, they told me that I have to be um I have to appear in person. Okay? I have to appear in person. And then now I am a witness. Okay? This is our communication when this started. Okay. I actually emailed them because I saw my name in Inquirer. Okay, so I emailed Mr. Dan Fernandez, who said na this information is a national security issue. So who is actually disinforming anyone? So when I saw my name in Inquirer, because I am not living in the Philippines, okay, I saw my name in Inquirer. So I emailed him, and then I told Honorable Dan Fernandez, February 4, diba? He's the House Committee Chair on Public Order and Safety, that I am living in China. I'm studying here. I'm doing my PhD. Okay. So, and then I reported a crime, a possible crime, because the House Committee of Dan Fernandez is mandated to deal with all matters directly and principally relating to the suppression of criminality. Okay. So I informed him about a court decision in the United States establishing as a material fact that the House Speaker received a bribery from Okada during his first few months as House Speaker in 2022. Ano yan? Have you seen it? I even gave the link of the decision of the court in the United States. I even gave them a PDF file. So February 4. Okay. And then they sent another message inviting me. Okay. And I replied again that I am living in China. I'm not based in the Philippines, etc. Okay. And then our communication went on. Okay? Kasi mainstream media made it appear that I don't want to attend when clearly I told them that I am based in China. I have not been living in the Philippines since August 2022. Now, the House Committee on Public Order and Safety replied, "This is to acknowledge the receipt of your emails." Emails! A lot. "We shall inform you once we have received instructions from the chairpersons regarding your appeal to participate virtually in the succeeding committee hearings." So they know. They know that they have to make arrangement for Zoom. Okay? Because they allowed other resource persons to participate in Zoom. You can watch their hearing. There are people via Zoom because they are living outside the Philippines. One of them is Dr. Ong, who is based in the United States. Okay. So they know. So mainstream media would like to paint me that I don't want to attend when clearly I have been in communication with the committee telling them that I am not based in the Philippines. And then I even told them that I am willing to attend via Zoom. Now, so what do you think they really want? Hindi ba? Ang linaw-linaw. Everything is so clear. Everything is documented. And now you're telling me that I don't want to attend. I told you I want to attend, but I want to attend via Zoom because I am living outside the country. You cannot compel me to come home. For what? Never committed any crime. That is only an inquiry in aid of legislation. I can do it via Zoom because you actually allowed others to participate via Zoom. So clear. Now, as I told you, I kept informing Congress, the House Committee on Public Order and Safety, in charge of dealing with all matters on criminality, about the court decision in the United States that established as material fact that House Speaker Martin Romualdez received a bribery from Okada. Okay? Now, Dan Fernandez says this information is national security issue. Okay? Ganito yan. Okay? Let me just inform you what happened dyan sa Okada issue na yan. Okay? Unang pumutok yan, the first time that it actually came into light was on August 1, 2023. Para makita nyo. Okay? August 1, 2023. Sino nag-report? Japan Times. Japan Times. Okay? Officials of a Japanese, ayan ang title. Okay? Japanese firm accused of improper influence over Manila Casino. Okay? So, kalagay dyan, in filing Monday in Delaware Chancery Court, the SPAC, 26 Capital Acquisition, claimed that Universal executives brought heavy luggage to a meeting with Philippine House of Representatives Speaker Martin Romualdez to try to secure his support in the dispute. They have been trying to take back control of the 40-hectare Okada Manila Resort and Casino, valued at $2.6 billion US dollars. The filing includes emails that 26 Capital says show the executives flew from Japan to meet with Romualdez to enlist his help in pressuring the nation's Supreme Court to advance their interest. So, who reported this? This is a Japanese news agency, the Japan Times. Now, House Speaker Romualdez denied this. Okay? Ganito. I'm gonna show you, no? Denied this. Actually reported by ABS-CBN. Okay? So,
In other news, Philippine House Speaker Martin Romualdez denying allegations was
so he denied it. So, PH Speaker Martin Romualdez denies receiving bribe in the Okada Manila SPAC deal. He denied actually meeting the Japanese executives. That's what he said. So this was, kailan ba ito binalita ng ABS-CBN? Binalita ito ng ABS-CBN ng
Martin Romualdez
October 6, 2023. October 6, 2023. You can just look how mainstream media is conniving with corruption in the Philippines. That's why they cannot be trusted anymore. October 6, 2023. Yun ang binalita nila. But they didn't know, okay? What they didn't know at that time was may decision na ng September 7, 2023. Let me show you. So this is directly from the Court of Chancery of the State of Delaware. Okay? This is the court decision itself from the Court of Chancery in Delaware. Yeah. So that is the case number CA number 2023-0128 JTL. Okay. So September 7, 2023. So this is the Judge BC Laster. Okay. So October, ABS-CBN reported just the denial of Martin Romualdez, but they didn't report the decision itself. So, what is this case about? Ano ba? Tungkol saan ba itong kasong to? This is actually a deal, okay, between 26 Capital acquisition, 26 Capital Holdings, which is a US company, kaya ito sa US dininig, and Tiger Resort Asia Leisure Entertainment. So these are this belongs to the parent company of Okada. So yung 26 Capital, meron dapat silang deal with Tiger Resort. Yun yung SPAC. So parang i-enlist ata sa stock exchange sa US yung Okada. Now, na-cancel because of the legal issue in the Philippines. Now, 26 Capital is pressuring Tiger Resort to push through the deal. Now, 26 Capital accused Okada of bribing Martin Romualdez because they saw with a series of emails, etc., the machinations of bribery. Now, isa yon sa e-establish na material fact kasi that is a breach of contract, no? Yung ginawa nung Okada. If it were true, okay. Now, makikita mo dito, so that's one of the material facts that needed to be established. Kung it was actually committed by the casino. Okay. Now, makikita mo yan dito. It was decided now na material fact siya. Andito siya, Part N, the dodgy bargain. Okay? So, as you can see, it was established as a material fact. Okay? This is actually the key finding. And these are all based on documents, witnesses. This is a proper trial. Huh? So ngayon, kita mo, Martin Romualdez denied that this happened, that he didn't meet this Japanese. But in the trial, in the US court, on July 27, 2022, Universal Executive Sato Nobuki traveled from Japan to the Philippines. Another Universal Executive, Hajime Tokuda, scheduled a meeting with Romualdez for the next day. The meeting lasted 90 minutes. This is a court decision. To accommodate the meeting, Romualdez returned from inspecting an earthquake disaster in Luzon. So itong yung mga documents, those are actual documents that the court examined, that the judge examined. The Universal Executives gave Romualdez the letters from 26 Capital and Zama to show that it will be a huge problem if the ruling by the Supreme Court was prolonged any longer. Then they told Romualdez that they wanted to ask a favor of an early resolution. Romualdez then and there made ex parte calls and sent a text to several members of the Philippine Supreme Court, including its chairman. Okay? The Universal executives understood that there were 3 judges involved, with 1 judge on the other side and 2 judges on our side. The Universal executives reported to their colleagues that the pressure by number 2 must be working. Number 2 is what they call Romualdez. Okay? Now, this is what the court found. No one addressed the legality of this type of arrangement in the Philippines. It nevertheless appears that Lazaro and Lorenzana are friends of Martin Romualdez, brokered a dodgy bargain in which they offered to have Romualdez intervene in return for increased control over Casino Corporation's board, compensation of 35,000 per month, employment agreements for the local executives like Yip and Van der Sande, and an item for Romualdez. Okay? Now, the witnesses of Universal is the parent company of Okada, okay, tried to escape the issue of bribery. Okay? They gave the following excuses. Okay? The Okada. So they were there. No? The witnesses of Universal, the parent company of Okada, were there in the courts. So when the judge asked them what it was, they claimed that the heavy luggage referred to original documents from the lawsuits against Okada in Hong Kong that had to be transported by hand because they didn't have a printer anymore in the Philippines. So what did the judge say? That the testimony was not credible. Why? Because your lawyers had printers, sabi ng judge. Second, Philippine law permits the use of electronic versions. Third, Universal had already filed documents from those lawsuits. And fourth, why would Universal executives would be tasked with carrying documents when a courier would do? And fifth, the internal emails referred to an item, which is an odd word to use for documents. And sixth, the internal emails spoke in code, referring not only to the item and heavy luggage, but also to Martin and number 2. Discussions about court filings do not require the type of subterfuge. Ibig sabihin yung ganyang codes. Finally, when the Universal executives met with Romualdez, they showed him the letters from 26 Capital and Zama about the deal being in jeopardy. Those letters were not heavy. So, the U.S. judge, wasn't convinced that the heavy luggage is not a bribe. This is a U.S. court decision. September 7, 2023. So Martin Romualdez met with the Japanese executives. So what did ABS-CBN report? Just the denial of Martin Romualdez. October 2023, ABS-CBN had that report. This court decision is September 7, 2023. How could you deny it? He denied that they met them. And the court, it's fully documented the meeting. So who is now doing this information? Dan Fernandez, you said this information is a national security issue. So didn't the House Speaker disinform the public about this? Didn't ABS-CBN disinform the public about this? Didn't you guys compromising the national security of the Philippines because you don't want to address the bribery issue of the leadership of the House of Representatives? So let me discuss why they really want me. Okay? Remember, they sent me a subpoena February 2025. In January, the BICAM report issue exploded. Remember that? Okay. Now, I wrote several articles. I wrote several blog articles about this. Okay. Such as this, no? The most hungry House of Representatives since 2011 is under Martin Romualdez. Why? Diba? Why? Okay? Tiningnan ko yung journals ng Senate of the Philippines and the House of Representatives. Available. No? Yung available lang na committee reports detailing BICAM report and the approved bill. Now, this is the summary. Okay? Under the speakership of House of Martin Romualdez. Okay? Nakikita nyo yan? I don't know if you're seeing the graphics. Okay? Budget year 2023 since nag-start si Martin Romualdez mag-speaker. Okay? So, House Chamber version, this means that the budget of the House of Representatives that they approved publicly. So how much? They approved publicly 15.97 billion. After the secret BICAM in 2023, their budget suddenly become 28.01 billion. That is an increase of 75.06%. Now, in 2024, their publicly approved budget is 16.17 billion. After the secret BICAM, it became 28.69 billion, which is 77.21% increase. 2025, their publicly approved budget for this year is 16.34 billion. After the BICAM, it became 33.67 billion, which is 105.93% increase. I actually compared this to other House of Representatives, no? Yung available lang nakita ko yung mga 2011 under Feliciano Belmonte. After the BICAM, it only increased by 13%. 2013, under Feliciano Belmonte, it only increased by 8.53%. Under Pantaleon Alvarez, good job Pantaleon Alvarez, it didn't increase after the BICAM. Under Gloria Arroyo, it only increased by 0.08%. Under the first speakership of Lord Alan Velasco, it only increased by 12.86%. Under his second speakership, it didn't increase anymore. But look at the jump during Martin Romualdez. After the BICAM. So after I was exposing this, suddenly I'm going to ask to appear for this information. What is this information here? You have to justify to the Filipino people why did you reward yourself with their money with this kind of increase? This is what you should be explaining to the Filipino people. This corruption is a national security issue. You are the national security issue because why are you rewarding yourselves with that increase during the BICAM? What did you do to merit that increase during the BICAM? And during your public deliberation, this is what you approved. 15.97 billion in 2023, and after BICAM, it become 28.01 billion. Oh, this is a clear theft. Justify this. Instead of you explaining to the public of why you rewarded yourself with several billions. Not just several, no? A lot. 75% increase. Guys, we're not talking about thousands here. We're not talking about millions. We are talking about billions of your money. The money of the working class. So after I made these exposures, they would like me to appear in the House of Representatives under the guise of in aid of legislation. Take note, I already informed them that I don't live in the Philippines, but they want to keep on pressuring me even though that they could just let me be via Zoom, just like what they do to others who are living outside the Philippines. So it is very clear that the House of Representatives is after their critics. Let me just say this to the House of Representatives. You have lost any moral ascendancy to the Filipino people. You have no justification to continue exercising power over the sovereign people of the Philippines because of what you did to their money. You don't have any moral authority over ordinary citizens when you cannot discipline your own boss. If you are not speaking against the bribery issue of Martin Romualdez, you are tolerating it, or much worse, you might be an accomplice. Dapat si Martin Romualdez yung dinidetain ninyo dahil siya ang may finding ng korte ng Amerika. And you should be ashamed of yourselves of what you did to the money of the Filipino people. That is what we should be talking about, because this is a clear national security issue, because this involves the hard-earned taxes of the Filipino people na walang pakundangan ninyong ina-award ninyo sa inyong mga sarili during BICAM. And mainstream media, why are you not reporting this? Can you tell us, why are you not reporting this? Why are you quick to report the plan of the House of Representatives to detain us? Why are you not reporting this? Are you still in the service of the Filipino people, mainstream media? How can you justify that? 2023, 15.97 billion, the budget that you approved during public deliberation, and after the secret BICAM, it suddenly jumped to 28 billion? Oh, there is a clear pattern here. This is a systematic plundering of the people's money. What is your justification that during BICAM, your budget suddenly would double? Hindi ba? So, if you want me to attend, let me attend via Zoom, just like what you did to others. Do not spread this false information that I don't want to attend. I have told you over and over again in several emails that I am living outside the country, and then I told you that I want to attend via Zoom just like others. It is you who don't want. Why? Now, if you would like to compel me to appear there, then you have to go through the proper process of extracting me from where I am now. But be sure that your reason for extracting me here would actually pass a real court of law. Okay? In a country where corrupt officials are punished by death penalty. So, the Vice President Inday Sara Duterte is correct. God save the Philippines. And I hope that there would still be Philippines. That's why, the system is broken. It can no longer be repaired. It has to be replaced. They will just keep on stealing, plundering the people's money. We're now in the vicinity of billions. Like 10 billion, 20 billion. If this system don't gets abolished, you will just find yourself that the corruption in the Philippines will now go by hundreds of billions and then trillions. And you know what is so sad about the state of affairs in the Philippines? The protector of the people is tolerating this. Just look at the Constitution. Who is tasked to protect the people? So I just hope that you wake up. Wake up. Because if you don't wake up, you're You're going to pass to a Philippines, to the next generation that is utterly broken. So wake up, because your children, their children, will inherit a totally corrupt to the core Philippines if you don't wake up. Wake up. Because if you don't wake up, the system will just continue to be like this over and over again. They will not repair this on their own. Kita nyo na? Their critics who are raising this issue, they are now politically persecuting, and that is how they want to cover up their wrongdoings. The corruption in the Philippines is the national security issue. It is the national security issue, the most pressing one the Philippines has. If you still don't accept that corruption is a very grave national security issue, then God save the Philippines. If God has not totally forsaken us, because we are not waking up as a nation to the real condition of our country. Maraming salamat po.
This is for the motherland. I am for the motherland, and always be for the motherland. Though I may be away, but my heart finds a way for the motherland. I am for the motherland, and always be for the motherland. Let us fight for what's right. Let us bring change inside.